Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another ARC team versus team event, this time against the Amigos racing team, or ART for short. My name is Lateral G. I'm joined in the commentary booth by my Savoy once again. How are you doing today, Savoy?
I'm actually quite tired, but I think I'll be good enough to be stayed awake for the next hour or so, or more.
And it's going to be quite the hour. We have, I believe it's around a 50-minute race using roughly the champ settings that we have been using for our GR3 Championship Series around the Mount Panorama circuit here at Bathurst, and that should be quite an interesting series, if I think. Normally Bathurst is a pretty good race for us around here.
Yeah, we have tend to race around this track quite a lot. Actually, you commentated on the last time when we raced at Bathurst, the 3-hour endurance race, which unfortunately I didn't commentate in that because I've obviously had problems in that too. But yeah, we kind of use this track a lot, so I don't know if ART uses Bathurst a lot. So we'll just see what happens in this race and see who comes out on top with this.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. I am getting here that it is basically the Season 5 where it's open choice for cars. The ARC team will be using the Chevrolet Corvette GR3. I'm not quite sure on what cars the ART boys will be using, but I'm sure we'll find out once we get on track. Just to cover the ART lineup, we have ART Langster, Simone 119, ART Seth F1, Pigstig 001, ART Chubbs, Jonesy X, and ART Happy T for the ART drivers. see if I can find the ARC drivers here real quick. See where they.
I think I've got it up now. I think yes, I do. So the team for ARC is going to be Hallex, Inman, Larasco, Kofi, Darth, Nihilus, the Baldy One, and Law. I think the Baldy One's making his debut in a team versus team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he is. Baldy has been an up-and-coming driver that we haven't seen too much of. He's recently been elevated to the supervisor role in the ARC Discord, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can actually do up against there with the fast guys that we typically see in Lobby A. So I'd be quite interested to see whether or not the teamwork of the ARC boys have actually been help them to get up to that pace of those guys.
See what, I'm kind of sad that there's no Matty, there's no gatekeeper in this, because I know he's been a stalwart for the team versus teams and all. So it's a shame not to see him compete in this, but I hope he's doing well and what have you.
That we do, and I do have the point scale here. The point scale we'll be using is the ART point scale, so I'm guessing there's going to be multiple events of this. I'm not too well versed on the T versus team, this little championship, I guess, what we're having here. But the point scale for this event is first place will be 25 points, second will be 21, third is 18, fourth is 15, fifth is 12, sixth is 10th, seventh is 8, eighth is 6, ninth is 4 points, 10th is 3, 11th is 2, 12th is 1, and then everything out back from 13th is 0 points.
So effectively 13th and 14th then. The last two.
Effectively, yes, given how the lobby size that Gran Turismo allows us to run. So I mentioned earlier that the Corvettes are the cars that the ARC drivers will be using here in this team versus team race. And I mentioned that we're not quite sure what cars the ART drivers will be using. But we do know how well the Corvette can actually... Oh, what was that? I'm getting a... we will be using the Aston Martin V12 Vantage. And we do know how well both those cars can actually go here. We've seen it several times in our champs in the past. So it should be a pretty close and even race, I think, if there happen to be if the drivers are on the same level.
Well, I mean, you got the Chevy and the Aston are both very good on the straight lines, so that's going to be like, very even between those, the cars there. It's just really between turns 4 to 18, going up the mountain and down the mountain. Which car's going to come out, will be quicker on that.
That it will be. Do we know if it's a standing or rolling start? Because I think that would pay a pretty big difference in the car choices for this.
I didn't know about that. I think in previous team versus team, it has been a standing start, but
grid start. So it will be a standing start, and we know how good that Corvette is on a standing start. We've seen it in the past.
Indeed.
So going into this race, ARC, I believe, has had a mostly winning record. I think they've only lost one championship that they've entered. So
yeah, that was.
Oh, okay, sorry, we have just been corrected. It will be a manual rolling start. So the Corvette's advantage off of standing start will be nullified and negated. And but the run to the T1 is actually pretty short, so it'll be interesting to see how wide they choose to go, because they can be quite narrow.
And also, whoever's starting on the pole was going to be starting on the right-hand side, and the first corner is a left-hand turn too. So that's going to be quite interesting to see who's going to, if position 2 is going to come out the first corner in the lead, or if the guy in pole position is going to get a cracking start. But I mean, we've seen in previous ARC races from a standing start. Oh no, it's going to be a rolling start. So I mean, that's not going to make any difference. Sharp, Savvy, carry on that, Layla.
Well, Mount Panorama, as we mentioned before, has typically been a pretty close race due to the 2 long straightaways going up the hill and coming down the Conrad Straight. So, in these 2 cars being very close in power and acceleration, I think it's going to come down to, honestly, the pace between the 2 cars through the mountain section, and who can really get it hooked up going down the hill.
Who's got the bigger balls going up and down the mountain, really? Because there's not a lot of runoff area. Only McPhillamy's at turn 10. That's the only biggest runoff area. You got like turn 4 to 9. It's just bad, as you see there on your screen there. There's not a lot of runoff area. You're going to be tasting wall inside and outside if you make just the slightest of mistake. So when it comes to qualifying, it's going to be really important, and I think it's really going to be the up and down section of the mountain that's going to get you a good starting spot, because I think track position here is quite vital, because there's not a lot of overtaking opportunities around this track.
No, there isn't. It's only really along that Conrad Straight where you have that opportunity, as I believe we are now joined by a techno guy, but he happens to be muted, so if he happens to jump in, we'll let you know. But I think the interesting thing to me is that we've seen in the past endurance race here. We had that endurance race before we started GR3 Champs, where both Inman and Hallex used the SRT Viper here. And the SRT Viper, to me, is a very similar car to both the Corvette and the Aston. So even though it's slightly different, I think they would have the skill and experience to really quickly get up to pace in that Corvette. Whereas I can't exactly speak for the ART drivers. I haven't seen them race. It'll be interesting to see whether or not they can keep up, because we know just how quick those two drivers are by themselves.
And of course, with Hallex, he's driving the Aston in the GR3 Champs. So, that could be a part too.
Okay, so that's a pretty big update we just got from our TV director. It is not just a single pick for each team. I mean, the ARC team will be running the Corvette flat across the board. However, the ART team are running an open choice. I believe the choices, once again, as we mentioned, were the Aston. They will also be running the Corvette. They will also be running the Jaguar, and I believe there was one or two more I didn't quite catch there. The Mercedes, the AMG. Mercedes AMG. So they'll be running 4 different cars, whereas Eric will be only running the Corvette. So that'll be actually interesting to see.
That's a first. I mean, usually when it's a team versus team, it's like a 1-car team for each. That's very, very interesting to hear about that. Not unless if their ART drivers have got their own favourite cars to race in.
It'll definitely make it more interesting to see. You'll have that different balance of cars and where they're strong. So that'll make it a bit more exciting to watch. That's for sure.
That's the first for me, like to have like a team having multiple different cars instead of just sticking with the one.
I believe we're doing stuck checks here before we get into qualifying, so we should be with you in the qualifying here momentarily. Before we jump into it, do you have any predictions for this race? I know you're going in kind of blind, not knowing just how fast those ART guys are, but what do you have to say before we start qualifying? Any predictions for qualifying?
Pretty much just hit your corners. I like I says, I don't know who are the fast drivers in ART. We're both in the dark for that. We were only just given the drivers, the list of drivers earlier today from Hallex himself. So we were in the dark of who's going to be quicker in the ART camp. I would say for this though, for ARC, it would have to be definitely either Hallex or Inman up at the top. They dominated the 3-hour race, with obviously Hallex coming out on top on that one. But it's going to be interesting to see which is the faster ART drivers that can step up to Inman and Hallex.
I believe Kofi is also in this race, which is...
Oh yeah, Kofi, yes, Kofi, yeah. Forgot about him.
So yeah, Kofi's in this race, and he happens to be my teammate in the GR3 Champs this season. And it seems to be quite back and forth between Inman, Hallex, and Nuggy for basically who's in that top 3 in qualifying. So who can snatch pole here will still be quite up in the air, I would think.
Yeah, track position's going to be vital here around at this track. You just got to nail the corners and that. Also, one thing to mention too is, again, talking about Hallex and Inman, they've got like a bit of a rivalry in terms of the GR3 Championship. Hopefully, they're going to have that rivalry put to one side and race for the team instead of themselves. So if Inman was be ahead of Hallex, and we know that Hallex is, such a quick driver, do you think that Inman could possibly let it go by, help the team instead of them racing for themselves?
I don't think that would be even a question in their mind. Typically, with these TV team events, the ARC team comes before the performance of the individual driver, and that's typically just the way it's always been. If it's faster for one guy to go ahead and give him a better opportunity, perhaps overtaking another guy, you let him go ahead and you get them opportunity. It's a team versus team event. It's it's not individual. Although there is individual points for this, I believe that it's whether or not which team finishes, ahead of the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, that's pretty much covered what I was thinking about.
Still waiting for qualifying to get started here. Hopefully, it shouldn't take too much longer.
I'm hoping there hasn't been any problems, because I did hear yesterday when I was commentating on the charity stream event that the PS service was a bit iffy, or the polyphony service was a bit quite laggy yesterday. So hopefully it's not going to continue today. Touch wood, like, and yeah, we just hope it's.
Well, I don't have any wood near me, but I have a metal rig. Is that close enough?
Oh, maybe. I'll just like touch my head when I see touch wood.
That's what most people do. You know what? One thing that I'm always excited to see when we have these team versus team events is actually the livery for the cars. And with the ART boys driving a whole bunch of different cars, I wonder if they're going to have a bunch of different liveries.
Well, yeah, or they could have the same livery, but just in different cars. Like I said, we don't know what ART's liveries are like. Oh, well, there's the ARC ones. There you see that. Yeah.
Thank you, TV director, for doing your job. It's actually quite a clean livery, typical white black with orange highlights. That's nice. I like it. It's very clean.
You actually
made by Darth Nihilus, who also is competing in this race for ARC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he made his debut last week at Laguna. So he could also be a threat too. And still no sign of what the ART livery looks like, but I'm sure it'll be quite dapping as well. Dapping meaning quite smart, by the way.
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
There's
Techno guy.
There's Techno.
I'll fit you on in a few little updates. It seems there's lobby issues, so that's the source to delay at the moment.
Yeah, there was problems yesterday too.
For SNS, yeah, it was a disaster. So I didn't even get to finish that event yesterday. So hopefully this goes a bit better.
You can only hope with these polyphony servers, but we work within the means that we have.
Of course, yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm just here looking at the YouTube chat. I see a bunch of our regulars in there. I see Wiley, I see Crow, I see GTSV Gianni, I see Techno. Hi, Techno. I even see one of the ART
Techno.
boys.
Yeah.
I see Roadrunner Dan, which is a ART Roadrunner. So we're gonna have some back and forth there in the chat, which would be nice to see.
Hopefully some friendly banter. I'd like to see that.
You see, this is a friendly event after all. That's why it's open card for us.
No, that's why it's called an exhibition, really. But I mean,
yes.
When it's a team versus team, there's a bit of pressure. There may be a little bit of contact here and there, bragging rights, if you will. Get down and dirty.
There always is, especially on Mount Panorama.
Indeed. Oh, so that's the livery. That's the livery for. There you are.
Yeah. Purple.
That's a pretty clean livery. I'd like. Is that like a purple or a blue? I can't quite tell.
It's like a purple-ish. Yeah.
It's a blue in their channel. I'd say it's just that's the styling of it in the screenshot.
It might just be the sunlight in the screenshot, but that's pretty clean. I dig that.
Yeah. Oh, see, like obviously, like Daryl and myself weren't Daryl wasn't really available to do liveries as well. So to lighten the work, that's why we went for one car.
I'm just looking in the YouTube chat here, and you have ART Roadrunner and Wily Coyote going at it because of their names.
I'd expect nothing less, guys. Keep on going.
It's not like Wiley's have a potty mouth.
Quality is starting according to our broadcast director here. Apparently, I'm excited.
Hey, that'd be good to see. Finally get some qualifying underway.
Indeed.
I also have confirmation from Roadrunner Dan in chat that it is a dark blue.
Oh, okay. From looking at that screen, it looked like purple from what we saw.
I believe that was just the sunlight. And here we go, qualifying underway. Arklaw, the first driver, out on track, followed by Baldy 1, Inman, Darth Nihilus, Rascal, and it looks like Hallex is right behind him. So Ark leading the way for qualifying, Baldy pulling off to the side, and Law doing so as well, letting Inman just get some clean air going up the hill.
Yeah.
Looks like the first driver for ART on track will be Simo119. Is it Simo or Simo?
I think it's Simo.
It's Simo.
And he happens to be in the Supra.
Oh yes, now it is blue. Yep, indeed. Yeah, he's driving the Supra. Yeah, it definitely does look blue.
So it'll be interesting to see what he can do here in that Supra, because we know that Supra is going to be pretty quick in a straight line.
Oh, I see what Simo's doing. He's trying to get the 2 off Alex, so I think he's been paying attention who's the quicker drivers here.
He might just need to be, but it definitely looks like all the ARC drivers are trying to get a slipstream off of each other. But it looks like, who was that? I'm not quite sure who that was just off the back of them in that Corvette for ART. That was trying to get us there. It's Langster. Who's trying to get in on that slipstream.
Oh, he has good taste. Taking the Chevy. It's probably going to be a good amount of fuel burning. Unlike the season of 5, we've got fuel degradation here, so there's going to be fuel burning. Unfortunately, that's how it rolls, as we all know.
There we see Art Happy in the Jag, Art Chubbs in the AMG. We saw one of the Art drivers just earlier in one of the shots in the AMG as well as the Aston. So a good mixed field here from the ART boys. It'll be interesting to see what teams comes out on top, whether or not the consistent car and the, I guess you could say, simplified practice of the two teams out of this. We see Law and Darth almost getting into it there as they head down the mountain.
I mean, they were just, making a bit of love there. Touching's all right.
Yeah, just a bit,
So it'll be interesting.
Up towards the Conrad Street, I think Law's just going to go by Kofi.
Look at all this jostling here. This looks coordinated. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, it does look coordinated. I think a lot of the ART boys are trying to work together. You see Halleck coming up to the back of Inman, so they're going to give each other a nice tow. How long is qualifying here, do we know? 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, so they'll probably do roughly, 3-4 laps, if you will.
That's what here we go.
It'll be
first
roughly the
time
same
lap. First time lap will be started by Langster, followed by Simo. So Simo, I think, is just close enough now. As we can see, someone has disconnected. That'd be Seth F1.
Yeah, he's racing in this as well, so not let's if he's had problems. So hopefully he'll get back in.
I'm just on board with Simo right now as they head up the mountain into the my track map up. I have too many windows up.
Mountain Street. The slipstream is going to be pivotal too. You've got the Mountain Street and you've got the Conrad Street. So if you manage to get a 2 off the guy ahead, it could help you for your qualifying. Again, as I said, track position is definitely key around here because there's not a lot of places to overtake.
That there isn't. I'm just going to put this down here real quick so I can have my track map and the stream and the feed up here. There we go.
Yeah, it looks like Seth's back in.
Yeah, now this is the problem here, getting held up towards Reed. And like I says, this is how narrow it is. It's just a 1-lane groove around this part of the track, going up and down the mountain. Now they're going in towards the skyline, into the S's. And Simo's going to get held up, you can see, by Langster in front of him. They're just going down towards the depot. Now we're going down the mountain towards the Forest Elbow, and you can see how close he is, which this could also be a problem for Simo.
Yeah, he's trying to get on the inside.
He's held up behind his own teammate, and the problem is when you get closer, you're in the turbulent air, so your steering's going to be a little bit worse.
But he's got the slipstream down the straight, but whether or not it'll make up for it, he's going to try and pass. This isn't the best what you want to see when you qualify. Normally your teammate would back out at this point, let him by. They seem to be fighting, but you can see he's there. Falls back in behind. So let's see what Simo can do as he'll be the first across the line. How as he enters.
Might be working get it to share a tow. That could be the other thing going on here.
You see the gap there with Alex and Inman was perfectly fine. That's a decent enough gap. But with Simo and Langster, it wasn't that, successful. Anyway,
see what he can do as he comes up to the line. I believe this is on soft tires, if I'm not mistaken. It's a 2:02.6. We have Langster come across the line. For Inman, it's going to be a 2-minute flat, and Alex, it's a 2-minute .5, and Inman has, I believe, a 2-minute 01.
So with Simo getting held up there, he's already half a second away from Inman and Alex's time.
Well, Baldy right now. Not everyone has crossed the line yet, but Baldy being in the top 5, that's a good showing from him. And it doesn't look like he had a slipstream for most of that lap either.
Yeah, Kofi's gone third too, and I don't think he had a 2-0. Rascal and Law both in the pits. Out comes Chubbs, making his way through Murray's.
So you see Seth, who's managed to rejoin the lobby.
And he's driving that Aston.
As there's Halleck's current provisional pole setter closing quite quickly to the back of Langster in front of him.
He doesn't have that added help now with Inman because he had a moment at a hell corner.
So you see Langster going very wide over the top of the mountain there at the skyline.
Yeah, he's only 14 thousandths off though, and he's going to get a decent toe if he gets a good run off Forest Elbow. It's going to be right in the toe of Langster. And he will definitely improve his time of...
As Langster goes very wide, so it's going to help Dougie here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just has to time it just right, though. If he times it wrong, he'll catch up right in the braking zone. That's not what he wants to do.
He'll probably possibly make go purple here, going over the brow over the Conrod Straight.
That he is.
He is, yep. 3/4 of a tenth.
How is he going to adjust his braking zone here? Will it slow him down? Poses right up to the back of him here. He's probably got to try and find a way by, but we know Langster probably won't want to let him pass. Or will Halleck's, yep, he's going to abort and go for the pit stop.
Quite interesting. Okay then. And also pit lane is quite annoying, you know, if you just hit that tyre wall on the left, it's just going to spin the car around and then it's going to completely mess up the, you know, entrance going in the pits. And they can't afford to do that in the race, put it that way.
Well, it's very tricky. It is it's almost a double chicane entry, which is they're always tricky, as we see Darth and I believe is the driver behind him also coming in. I wasn't quite sure with his camera.
Yeah,
it might have been, but currently ARC 1, 2, 3 on qualifying 4, excuse me, with Darth there. And once again, it's Halleck's, Inman, and Kofi, top 3.
So basically, they've got one more lap now to try and improve their lap time.
Halleck's trying to find a way by Langster. He knows he's faster than him. He wants that clean air.
Yeah,
currently, Simo and Jonesy, the best placed ART drivers, in 5th and 6th respectively. But I'm not quite sure their gap to the next driver in front of them, which is Darth. So I think that's what Halleck's wants. I think Halleck's wants to slip from Simo, and he's just close enough to have it, I think.
What car is Jonesy driving? Is he driving a Supra as well, or up there in 6th? Because he's just ahead of Simo.
He might be in the AMG.
Oh, could be, yeah.
As they head down the mountain now, currently on board.
Seth's improved to 8th, I've just noticed that. Home track as well for Seth. I think that's an Australian flag. I don't know if it's that or New Zealand, anyways.
Yeah, no. They have a few Australian drivers. That's why it's so late in the start.
I can understand why it must be really late for them at this point, actually.
Quite in the morning.
Or early.
Early in the morning, roughly, I want to say 2 or 3 a.m.
Probably your time, but I think our time will be like, what, 7 a.m. or so? Something like that, 7, 6, something like that.
So there we see Simo and Langster. So I guess Simo has let Halleck's go by, as he's going to make another pit stop for another fresh set of tires.
Oh,
no, he's not.
He's waiting. I think he's waiting for Inman. Is he waiting for Inman? He's got to get going though, because he's not going to improve his time anyways. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Just looking at the leaderboard, we see Jonesy manages to pop ahead of Simo as Jonesy spins off there. He spins off, but I mean, 5th place overall isn't bad as he waits for the drivers to go by, wait for the safe rejoin. Simo currently 6th, ART Happy 7th, Art Seth 8th. So it seems to be the ARC drivers have been split in the leaderboard here. We have Darth, Kofi, Inman, and Halleck's in the top 4. Then it looks to be Rascal, Law, and Baldy in the bottom half of the field.
I think Simo was purple in the first sector, but now this is the problem. As some of this actually improved up. Maybe to 4th or 5th.
It's Law.
Is it Law? Law's gone to 3rd. Wow. Just about saying that was Simo because he was purple in the first sector. I think what Langster should have done was backed out, going over towards Griffin's, and then let Simo have the run, because then he would have clean air, and then he could have been a threat to Alex to get the pole position. So this could probably hamper Simo now, and you can see now, yeah, he's 3 tenths down.
I have a hard time proving this is his last lap. Anything happened in the last sector. I don't know if he's actually had the cleanest last sector yet. As Langster once again misses the braking zone. from Forest Elbow. As I'm seeing on the thing, Rascal also goes 5th, so it's Arc in the top 6 currently. As we see Rascal currently purple as well as he goes over the top of the mountain over Skyline. So Rascal on for a good lap here. Ooh, that might not help him though.
Yeah, careful through McPhillamy there. There's a nasty auto spin curve through there.
He was still green, but he wasn't purple any longer. But we also see Art Happy, who was green there for a second, but not anymore. Just down by just a little over a 10th. Qualifying coming to a close here as we're on board right now with Lankster and Simo. Currently the best placed ART driver in qualifying currently. Will he improve as he comes up to the line? He will improve.
Oh, he does, yeah.
8th. He's only 8th overall.
Oh,
Lankster actually...
7th.
So Lankster beats him overall. So that's good for him. If Hallex pulls off, he's already got locked in pole by... How much is that? 0.55?
He actually improved. He's gone to a 2-minute 3. He did improve by like a 10th or so.
It looks like Inman looking to improve as well. Darth improves his time slightly. Chubbs doesn't improve.
Chubbs goes up to 7th. Chubbs is up to 7th. Baldy one's up to 8th.
Inman's currently green. So let's see what he can do. Last one on a flying lap here. Now through Murray's corner.
He's looking for a bit of magic.
Power down nicely, not too wide. What's it going to be as it comes up to the line? It's looking to be a 2:01. No, just under. 2-minute flat, but Hallex pulled by half a second.
That's what Slipstream can do.
Pigstick got up to 7th place, so he's the best place of the ART drivers.
So it's ARC 1 through 6, and then we have Baldy, and it looks to be, I want to say, 9th there. Oh no, some drivers are leaving the track. It's hard to get an accurate number of where some everyone is right now. So that's your qualifying. Hallex on pole looks to be, I want to say Kofi 2nd. No, it'd be Inman 2nd. Kofi 3rd. No, Law 3rd? It's everyone's kind of going on and off the track to switch their tires.
Hallex, Inman, and then it was like Law and then Kofi, and then I think it was like Rascal. Yeah, something like that.
Bit of chaos. Happens.
But once again, Arc fairly dominant in qualifying.
Yeah, I thought Simmer would have done, a bit better in the qualifying. Of course, obviously being stuck behind Lankster, that didn't help one bit. I think he could have definitely improved his time anyways if he didn't have his teammate going up towards the mountain and back down again. So that really did hurt his qualifying.
And that's normally something we see from the ARC drivers, or not what we see from the ARC drivers, I should say. And that ARC goes out of its way to try and make its teamwork work a lot better. They put a lot of practice into practicing together, figuring out good qualifying strategies and whatnot. Whereas typically in these team versus team events, we normally see the team races against ARC. They're usually not the most coordinated. And I don't mean that as a negative or a shot against ART. I just mean that in that if people want to start doing really good in these TVT events, they need to start to step up to that ARC level and really get that coordination down and really get that practice down that ARC has been doing for years now.
Yeah. It is a casual event in the end of the day. Well, a bit more casual in terms of TVT. It is a friendly, so.
We'll just see what race pace is going to be like for the ART boys and see if they work their way up through the field. I mean, Simmel does look quite fast as well as is it Langston or Langston?
Lankster.
Yeah, I mean, they look quite fast as well.
Just call him Lank.
Don't count out Seth because he'll probably know the track like the back of his hand, being it's his home track. So, maybe race pace could suit them.
Well, Seth is a bit unlucky with the DC as well. So.
But it is also with Bathurst. Anything can happen at Bathurst. One mistake and your race is over.
Yeah, especially into the Forest Elbow. That's a good way to have an absolute disaster.
And it's a manual rolling start, so we'll see how turn 1 wants to go. We know that can be a little airy at times.
Is this the first TVT manual rolling start? I think it might actually be. Because we suggested them. They're interested in doing so.
Well, I know you did that. You did another TV team with FAST. I don't know, at Laguna, but I didn't know if that was a rolling start.
I think that was a standing start with no TCS, I believe.
Well, there you are then.
They were interesting.
This will probably be the first one, yeah.
they wanted no assists. A bit different. So, yeah, it should be an interesting race.
It should be an interesting race like usual, but I don't want to be rude or put any shots, but a little uneventful for qualifying. That typically is what we normally see for the ARC TVT events.
Quality is boring no matter what who's in it, you know? Like, it's just times that going on a screen, really, isn't it?
I'm just
Like, the
hoping-
racing is where the action is.
I'm just hoping that. I was just going to say that hopefully the ART boys are not going to be that feisty, even though they were quite comprehensively beaten in qualifying. But see if this could be a respectful race, and that's what we want to see.
That is always what we want to see. ARC's number one rule is clean racing, and we do our best to try and enforce that. So hopefully we get that from both sides.
Yeah.
Typically, ARC doesn't get its
the
elbows
main.
out, but
That was the main thing with this TVT. So, like, for ART, they're quite clean, and we also want a kind of clean event, try and get to know each other essentially. So that's what this really is. It is an exhibition. So that's
now, as Savoy and I aren't that familiar with ART, and I'm guessing you're one of the people that put this TV team together. Could you perhaps describe or explain to the viewers what ART does typically?
I was saying they're similar to us in that they seem to run a lot of community events and casual events, which is quite nice. So I actually knew one of their team members. He's not racing today. It's called Legion 2K, and that's how I found out about them. And just so Haddox myself dropped in to take a look and say hi. Asked them if you want to do a TBT on our break champs week. So that's how it came about. So it should be interesting enough. I'm curious to see how it all pans out, especially seeing as they've gone more open choice with the car picks. Like, anything can happen in that regard.
That's definitely going to make it more interesting than anything, seeing the different strategies from the same team and the different cars and everything. That's always a fun, interesting point. I know if Chili would be here, he'd be salivating at the mouth practically.
Well, knowing him with his big green bargain brundle, knowing him like. We called him what was it, the 3-hour race at Spa? That's what we always called him, big green bargain brundle.
Jeez. Oh dear.
He's probably watching right now.
Now he'll be probably watching. He'll be doing the ACC. Probably watch his stream later on after this race, I think, like we did with the car roulette.
The car roulette was fantastic.
Oh, it was.
Actually, let's talk about you, Lateral. You're definitely surprising, Chili, since you're top of your championship table. What was it, the Bronze League you're in?
I am. Yeah. I'm actually surprising him, really?
Yeah, you're definitely working that Citroen to Chili's misery. Definitely.
Well, it's been a bit of a learning curve, I must say, but we're not here to talk about me too much. We're here to focus on the TV team. So...
It's just a way to kill time.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, Lobby said it. Free to talk about yourself, later on, what you like.
Well, if I must say, doing the Citroen so far in Champs has definitely been an interesting choice. But one of the reasons I wanted to do it is because everyone said it'd be a dumb idea to do it, and I just like proving people wrong. So.
Car has good potential.
Look at. I mean, if you look back at the roulette, like you mentioned, like Hyundai first choice, Citroen first choice. Kev literally laughing at it.
The Hyundai is what I was laughing at, and the VW GTI. That's another one that we're kind of laughing at. Like, I was. Now, of course, that got nerfed
pretty hard
before it even started. So. The hopes and dreams of those people choosing the VW GTI were short-lived.
Yeah. The Citroen's been working pretty good for me. I prefer the MR cars. I like cars that actually turn in, so it's been working good. So just getting the consistent and getting the pace. Kofi's been a big help with getting me up to pace. Honestly, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, Kofi's helped me gain just a second and a half within a few hours of coaching me. He's that damn good. as we get the notification that we'll be starting the race in roughly 2 minutes. So, gentlemen,
Ooh,
I'm going to come out and just ask you any predictions for this race. Anything we're going to see? Winners, losers?
Well, based on the poor qualifying, I want to see the ART, guys, step up to the challenge to give ARC a run for their money, even though the qualifying was poor. So hopefully you got the likes of, again, Sybil, Langster, Pigstick. I think he was the best qualifying, I think. Might be wrong. So I want to see them up there battling with like Rascal and Law, but I just think, the way that they looked in qualifying, that Alex was like half a second quicker than Inman. I mean, it's dumb not to pick someone else to win apart from Alex, really.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
Alex there. Alex was sitting in the slipstream there, so we'll see how it actually goes. The difference is, of course, Alex and... Not
on this last lap, he was by himself and he did a 2-minute free.
Was he faster?
Yeah. By a tenth.
What was Kobu's qualifying record that he had?
I think it was a 2-minute point 1 in a GTR.
Will we bring that? I think we'll probably bring that back onto the screen if we want to.
I believe it was a 2-minute 1.
Look at all these statistics.
Oh, 2 minutes 7.
He just demolished it on and on.
He smashed it.
But I think, in fairness, I think that when Kobu's record was set with tire wear and fuel wear.
But this is tire wear and fuel wear on
for qualifying.
Yeah. Because all of them went to the pits after they do.
Yeah.
After they won,
and even.
All right, 1 minute
with more. Yeah, and this is with more tire wear on this occasion. Like the previous championship, I think we had 2 and 2, but this is 5x and 2. So 5x tires and 2 times fuel.
I don't mean to demoralize the ART team. But the only competition Nuggy's going to have is if he starts racing against top 100 guys in Europe. He's just that damn fast that he could actually be racing against top 10 guys in NA and be faster than them. He's that damn good.
Do you have the commentators curse the drivers? Does that have to happen?
Yeah, it doesn't have to. But as we should get here momentarily, I want to say roughly 30 seconds till we start the race here. So once again, Techno, any predictions from you?
Any predictions? I would say I was looking at the ART guys. A few of them were compromised a bit in qualifying, so maybe they'll be a bit more on pace in the race and provide something interesting. The difficulty for them now is with so much the top end of the grid blocked out, they're going to be going through a lot of traffic to get at the faster guys. So could be a bit of a problem for them, but we'll see. It is a friendly after all.
I think where Simmel's qualifying doesn't, because I know Simmel's probably the faster driver out of the ART, and his qualifying doesn't represent that. Because obviously he got held up behind Langston.
Yeah.
So do you think with the amount of ARC drivers between the ART guys and the top of the ARC field, do you think that we're going to see perhaps maybe a hand down of the gatekeeper moniker?
Unfortunately, Matty wasn't available this week. His console's had issues, and that's why he's not been about for the last 2 GR3 rounds either.
His console? So, he could just get a new one at Asda's. Anyway, this is starting grid.
So there you have the qualifying results. Alex, Inman, Kofi, Law, Rascal, Darth, then Rascal, Simo, Langster. That's your top 8 here. So it is a manual rolling start, so this is not the official start of the race. Going to stay in their grid position and warm their tires.
Looks like everyone's on their way, which is good.
Ooh, someone's already knocking off that. That's one way to start.
I'm wondering if that's a tactic or a ploy, maybe, to take off the marker?
Not quite sure who that was. Oh, grid wrong. Well,
might be a restart then.
I would say that should be a restart if the grid was wrong.
Probably going to start backing out there in that case. Trying to work out what's going on here. Difficult to tell.
It's okay. We're working within our means of Gran Turismo. We do what we can. So a little bit of a delay.
There.
What was that?
Oh, finalist position on the way. Should be interesting.
Okay. So that's one way to fix it. That's a good thing that we have the manual rolling start so the drivers can control.
I'm not sure this is the best idea. We'll see how it goes.
Obviously, all the other, hopefully all the drivers will put their fuel mixture up to 6. What about in terms of pit stops? Like, what laps are they going to do into pits, or what tyres they're going to start on with, and what have you? I don't know what tyres all of them are starting with, like, but in terms of like pit stops, or was it
I'd be guessing mediums, especially even on a track like this. Just saving the softs for your last stint, where your car is the lightest on fuel. It just makes the most sense. So I would guess majority of them are on mediums, unless the ART boys are trying to go for a different strategy.
Well, the other thing is this is the first race, I believe, since we've had the pit delta change. So
that's
the
true.
That is
very, very true.
Yeah, so it takes longer to actually pit now for tires and fuel, and that's affected all the tracks. So see how it goes.
I'm just looking at the Boulder one making his debut, but I don't think he should be too shabby qualifying in last. We'll see what he can do during the race. He'll be flirting with the likes of Seth and Happy and what have you.
Yeah. We'll see what he can do with strategy. I know he's got the experience from champs to work out a solid strategy, so we'll see if he can make it work here. I know this track isn't the easiest for every driver. I can say personally for myself from experience that I am not very good at this track, but
there is realistically like 5 corners to overtake. You got Hell Corner turn 1, you got Griffins. You could say the Forest Elbow, but that's got to be like a lunge. The real safest one, you got the Chase, turn 20, turn 21,
I see it.
And you got Muddy's Corner, which they're coming to now. I think those are realistically the best places to overtake.
Inman's gone. Sorry, Halleck's is gone.
Ooh,
he went quite early.
I'm guessing that's where they had the green flag or the green zone for this race.
The green zone is under the tire arc, so that's why.
Oh, okay, we didn't know that.
That's
so we're underway.
That's what season 5.
We are underway. Currently, Arc just maintaining position in top 6. Currently, right now, we see Lancaster in 7th, hounding the back of Darth there. Baldy rounding out the back of the field in 14th. We see Kofi. Kofi got actually a really good start up into 2nd ahead of Inman. We see Law back in 4th behind Inman. There we see Lancaster trying to look around the outside of Dark Knight. It's going to lap 1 here. And Griffin's not quite going to make that work.
Buffalo sideways 2 in the middle.
It should be interesting.
More importantly, though, everyone got off the line quick. Well, no one spun off at Hell Corner, so that's good to see.
It's always a good start.
We see Lancaster making a bit of a mistake there, and now he's going to back up his teammate in Simo. Unless they swap positions on track, I think Simo's got the better pace to the top of the mountain. And I don't know if they had the coordination or the teamwork, or like the communication to really swap positions and let Simo get on with it.
Baldy's gained a couple of spots now. He's up to 12.
Yes.
He's past Seth and Happy.
He did that on the mountain straight.
Doesn't look like we'll get a replay of that.
Lancaster sideways comes to come down the mountain now. Once again, allowing Simo to close right up to the back of him.
I'm interested to see what tyres Simo started on compared to Lancaster. I'm wondering if Simo's gone softs. No, he's on mediums, okay.
Oh, but Lancaster was that on softs?
That must have been Lancaster on softs.
Okay. So Lancaster going for the alternate strategy. You're starting on softs. The bold strategy. We see the slipstream. Darth goes defensive.
No, he's not defensive. He's giving it high.
He's still fighting it side by side.
Through the chase, and Darth's going to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Almost goes very wide, but he manages to hold on to it. Will Lancaster get another chance opportunity here going into Murray Corner?
Now Darth's going defensive. Put his car in the middle of the track. So safe defensive driving so far from Darth.
Just looking up on the leaderboard, we see both Inman and Law have moved ahead of Kofi, who's now back in 4th place.
Kofi made a mistake in that case.
Just might have, but Darth doing his best Matty invitation right now, holding up 2 of the ART drivers. Baldy's still up into 12th, trying to gain time on ART Chubbs ahead of him. Here he goes. Darth defensive once again, has to head towards the Griffins, breaks later, and he's doing everything he can to try and hold Lancaster back behind him, who is on the soft tire.
Yeah, Lancaster's got to get by Darth because he doesn't want to waste the soft tires now. So he wants to get by Darth in a hurry, but obviously Darth's doing very well to defend his position. Now going up towards the mountain, this is going to be tricky for for Langster because he's probably going to have to hold station. He's got to show that bit of patience here, and he's got to find, the time is right to get by Darth. But Darth's not going to make it easy for Langster to go by.
That he won't. Darth typically isn't very easy to pass. He is known to get his elbows out when he needs to. So whether or not Langster's going to find that opportunity to work his way by will yet to be seen. You see Simo closing right up to the back of Langster as they go down the S's.
Nearly gave Langster a little bit of a tap up the backside there.
It's so tough. Of course, the super is fantastic at fuel saving because it shift points, and that might be exactly what Simo's doing here in this case.
But so is the Corvette. It's very easy to forget that the Corvette has an earlier shift point as well, just like the Supra. So if they're driving that Corvette correctly, they're also going to save a lot of fuel. And we see Jonesy working his way by Pigstig for that ninth place.
Pigstig.
And we see Baldy moving up into 11th.
Yeah, he's past Chubbs.
Well, look at this.
As we see Seth trying to go around the outside into the chase up, and we see Chubbs slows down, lets his teammate by.
Yeah, that's smart racing there from Chubbs.
It is. We can see just a straight line speed difference between the AMG and the Corvette.
That Chevy's mad, isn't it? As soon as you get into 6th gear, that thing just pulls so much. That's
an absolute powerhouse. As it looks like Langster has actually worked his way by Darth for that 6th place.
So now Langster's going to go off and hunt down the top 5 now, I'd say.
That'll be Rascal in 5th.
So it looks like Langster...
I'd imagine it would have been at the chase that he would have got the position.
Makes the most sense.
But I think Darth would have done his job just well enough. He used up just enough of Langster's tires to make this push that much harder to try and for him to catch Rascal. There we see both Hallex, Inman, Law, and Kopi, Rascal station 1st through 5th. Then we have this constant battle going on for 6th between Langster, Darth, and Simo. As we see Darth catching right to the back of Langster despite him being on soft tires.
Yeah, to be fair, I thought Langster would shoot off into the distance, but it appears he's not.
I think he's definitely struggling with this mountain section here at Bathurst. We've seen time and time again just mistakes. He's missing braking zones, going into Forest Elbow, going wide through the cutting.
Well, Baldy's lost a spot, so Seth's gone by. He's getting up sideways through the dipper.
Chevy's a difficult beast to tame here. Like, especially in that coming out the yellow, it really does like to push out wide. It's difficult car to drive.
Just maintaining station here, using the slipstream to the most that you can. 51 minutes remaining left in this race.
Darth's going to try and come back in here.
You're going to try and go around the outside. Runs the driver with soft tires. Can he get it done? A little bit of a bump. Maintaining position.
I can't believe he almost held that though.
I don't know if Darth had a bit of help from the rear from Simo. I wonder if he can get it on board with Simo from his view. If Darth lost it by himself. Right there.
Door to door.
Darth now back in 8th, but now he's got to worry about Jonesy, so Darth starting to fall back here.
I wonder if Jones is on the soft tyres too, because he's caught up quite a lot. He's built Pigstig away from 2 seconds. There he is.
See just how much grunt that Corvette has in the slipstream. Even the Aston just can't close up.
Oh, I think Darth's run a little wide through Griffin.
He has Jonesy. You're going to take advantage of those soft tires, but he can't quite get it done here as they head into the cutting.
Oh, he's gone on. He's hit the flat part of the cutting. Yeah, you see that's him run wide there. Yeah, you were mentioning about that in the 3-hour endurance race, how flat the part is at the cutting too.
Ooh, Baldy.
Oh, hello.
Easy there,
riding
Baldy.
at that in there.
Oh, down in there. He's probably having a pint of Guinness in there.
God.
I think Langster's starting to stretch his legs away from Simo now, so he's getting up and down.
Well, I think he's actually starting to drop back from Rascal, I would say. The gap's open up to 2.7 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, now 2.4 now as they're heading down the mountain. It's moving it back and forth here and there, but yeah, I feel like Rascal's been able to open it up just a little bit.
Yeah, well, Rascal did spend, 3 hours racing this track.
Watch Jonesy.
Darth just not giving him enough room to go on the outside, putting that Corvette right in the middle of the track, and that Corvette is a wide boy. Not easy to pass on a track that's narrow like this.
Yeah, it's definitely got a backside like Kim Kardashian.
He's going to try to have it go for it.
Late on the brakes. Yeah, that's good passing there. So, you know, fair play to the ART boys. They're giving ARC a bit of a run now.
But Darth's not going to let him have it. He's going to try for it back.
Darth with the dummy.
On the inside. Ooh, they touch.
There's contact there.
He's off into the gravel trap. He hits the wall.
Is there damage on Jones's car? There goes Steph. Yeah. There goes Big Stick.
There is.
Yeah, there's bumper damage.
Darth's going to concede that there. Not a back bite.
See if we can get a replay on board from Jonesy's point of view there. I'd be curious to see what it looked like from his car.
Missed again. Too late on the replay.
But Halleck's still off in front. Inman, Law, Kofi, Rascal still holding that top 5.
It was a risky pass there for Darth to make an overtake because you see Jonesy had the car in the middle, so it was a bit of a risky pass. Maybe Darth should have backed out there.
Yeah, and Darth paid the price for that with the concede, so it puts them both back all the way back there.
I think it was definitely a risky move, but I think Darth might have had just enough overlap right before he entered the corner.
Darth gotten back past him. Darth must have gotten back past him then. No, that's Baldy, sorry. I'm not
We both touched the wall there. But Baldy now up in the 10th after both Darth and Jonesy had that contact going through Murray's corner. Langston's still in 6th, but it's maintaining.
Langston's in the hunt there.
Stimmel's catching too, actually. I think Stimmel's definitely catching Langston. I'm wondering if those soft tyres are beginning to wear now. Number 6 laps
he's not gaining any time to Rascal here. I think his tires are too worn at this point. They're even on pace with the mediums.
And that's where the additional pit time kind of comes in, so it's quite interesting because previously he lost next to no time pitting here for new tires. Like it was 5 seconds maximum he lost. But this, with an extra 10 seconds, that completely changes how the strategy plays out.
So, I mean, if they're going for a 2-stop strategy, I'm guessing they'll be pitting within 6 more minutes. So they'll probably pit with like 40 minutes to go, then 20 minutes to go, and that would be the rest of the way, I reckon. Is happy, it's just gone by Baldy. That would have been an overtake possibly at the chase. And indeed it was. Round the outside too. Nice.
Don't see that very often in the chase.
From Happy in the Jaguar, not a car we've seen too much of.
The Jag.
The Jag.
Yeah, you have to say Jeremy Clarkson. Baldy wants it back. Look at this.
And we see back in the shot as well. We also see Darth side by side, still fighting with Jonesy and Chubbs here. It's a bit of an ART sandwich. Heading up now through the cutting.
That ART sandwich has got jam in it. I'll happily eat that. Strawberry jam, I add.
Now, I did look this
Darth
up recently.
Once again, touching the armor all wall.
You got to be careful now. Yeah, that is Baldy. Yeah.
Made
a mistake on the enemy.
Oh no!
He's hit the tire wall.
Can he get it stopped in time? He does get it stopped in time. No, he.
Oh no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Did he get reset? Did he just get reset?
No, he clipped the tire wall at the going into the S's there.
So I'm board with Baldy here over the top of Skyline.
He makes the mistake of the filling me here, he just clipped the inside wall, got into the grass. I think he did have a little bit of help, but there's a tire wall right there. And he clips it. And he clips it. But I don't know if he had a bit of help there too.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I wouldn't really blame anyone hitting that because it's so blind through there. Like there's not much time to react to that. Unfortunate.
But still top 5, still stationary. Not much change in there. Just looking at the gap between Rascal and Halleck's, it's 15 seconds.
I think Langston's found a bit of a groove here because he's slowly catched up to Rascal, but he's pulled away from Simmel, not unless if Simmel's made a mistake.
That's Jonesy in the pit, so first pit stop for ART, I believe.
that it is first pit stop just in general.
That's roughly about 4 minutes early, I reckon. Well, maybe that's okay. Obviously, the soft tyres do wear a lot quicker, so maybe he could be on schedule. He'll have to change the medium tyres now.
Lankster still 2.1 behind Rascal. It's slowly closing as they head up the mountain, but I think as they go down the mountain, that's where Rascal starts to build that gap again.
Yeah, normally the downhill part of the mountain, it's where the rear gets very tail happy, and it's just a case of you could just like control the car going down there, because the car gets very unstable going down Skyline, the S's in the dipper.
Darth back in 12th, trying to set his sights on Chubbs ahead of him. And he's closing up that gap pretty quickly. Over Skyline and now into the S's. We'll see the gap, whether it'll grow or it'll drop. I think Chubb's taking it very conservatively going down to the S's. He makes a mistake there. Darth might have an opportunity here into force elbow. Will Chubbs go defensive? He will.
Darth will probably try punching this down. No,
yeah,
no.
He's going to have to...
Go for the over-under. Can he get it? No, he doesn't have the grip in the rear tires.
Chubb's got a good run off of Forest Elbow.
Yeah. But this is where the Chevrolet kind of tends to catch up here at this part, move the brow of the hill.
It's going to be a little bit too late. No, he's going to pull to the inside, go into the chase.
He's going to get that done handily.
Yeah, so Darth probably making his way up through the field. Decent recovery.
What a bit of a wobble!
Chubbs!
Chubbs! Good hold.
Onto her. Did he, mate?
Did he catch the grass there?
Go breaking into the chase.
He does catch the grass on the outside.
Yeah,
good job holding it on track, though.
Yeah.
Slightly missed the apex, though, at turn 20. Likes this starting to close the gap up, less than 2 seconds now.
Surprised you can keep count of the corner names, Savvy, because I just have no idea what number each corner is.
What I've got, right, is I've got the screen on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side, I've got like the track name with the the numbers on it as well. Yeah.
That's the Savvy setup, that is.
Here we see Lankster 1.6 between him and Rascal, so he's still making those soft tires work this late in the race.
Yeah,
he's got about 20 minutes of wear on them.
Catching up on the car ahead.
He'll probably have to pit this sometime soon, I reckon.
I think Lankster just might be one of those drivers that is slow at the start of the race. He's trouble getting into that groove, but once he gets into that groove, he finds it in that pace really quick.
Tell you what, the hometown kid, they're 7th, 8th place. That's good. I think he qualified 13th, I believe, so he's doing all right. Although he's up into 8th place because of the demise of Darth and Baldy and what have you. So he's having a bit of a quiet race himself. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, good recovery.
He is.
Well. Very unfortunate with the connection errors issues, of course, to start.
See Halleck's into the pits.
Oh, and he was on the soft tires. Oh, okay.
So perhaps maybe there is a interesting strategy with the new pit stop changes. Everyone coming in with roughly the same amount of fuel.
See, that's the team mode. They've been practicing all week for this, trying to get the right strategy. What's the right tire strategy and the fuel?
Oh, he's caught up. Lankster's caught up to Rascal. He's passed him.
Now I'm wondering if Rascal was supposed to go into the pit lane, but he messed up going into pits. Because I
think we need to see a replay because there was a good gap between them. Well, how did he lose it? Did Rascal?
Oh no, he didn't.
Rascal.
He must have outbraked himself at Muddies.
He did.
Yeah, he outbraked at Muddies. Oh, that's a lapse of concentration there from Rascal.
Now they're battling here. We see Halleck's off in the distance on his medium tires.
Well, but now they got by again.
He has. But the interesting thing is there's Inman on the new medium tires.
I don't think Inman should be too far concerned there because Lankster and Rascal has not yet pitted, so I don't think this is going to be a cause for concern for Inman, I would reckon.
See if it makes a difference as they head over Skyline. If anything, they seem to be pulling away just a little bit over Inman, but Inman might be taking it conservatively.
Yeah, Inman's just got to show a bit of patience here, going down the dipper, because as you see there, it's just a one-lane groove. You can't overtake through there.
can if you're brave enough.
Well, if you can overtake, if a guy makes a mistake in front of you,
You can't say I haven't seen it before. But now this is probably where you're going to see Inman work his way by. There's Simo currently in 6th behind Law. So Simo yet to make his pit stop either, but we also know he's on the medium tires. He's saving those softs for the end of the race.
I think Inman is just...
Ooh, the braking zone difference. He tried, but he couldn't get it done.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of clever there from Inman because he was just easing off the throttle because the gap wasn't closing when he was in the 2. I'm wondering if they're going to pit this time. No, they're staying out and doing another one. I'm wondering if Langster's going to go one stop.
One stop on the softs. That'd be a bold strategy, especially in the Corvette.
You never know.
Oh, here we
There's
go.
Baldy and Seth side by side through the kink.
Oh! Baldy and Seth had a bit of a moment there, off having fun in the grass, and
Seth just dipped a tire on the inside and on the outside going into the chase.
Was
he got sideways from it. I think he was. I think he just dipped a tire. Maybe he was. There was a bit of a touch.
Yeah.
That's GTS with the bouncy contact, and then the course isn't exactly straight there on that side of the track.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure if Baldy turned it a little bit on Seth for that to happen.
Yeah, awful shame. Sure, we'll see. We'll see post-race anyway.
I'll tell you what, Baldy's going to be the most hated man in Bathurst now because he punted off the hometown hero.
I'm just looking in the chat here. I see Roadrunner Dan saying, if anyone can do it, Lancaster can. He saves tires so well.
Yeah.
So,
well,
Pirelli Picasso 2.0 here on track right now in Lancaster. If he can make that work in the Corvette.
Those soft tires are looking very sorry.
He should be in the Ruby-mobile doing
I tell you what, Law's actually caught up now to Inman because he's only 4 attempts behind. He was about 3 the lap ago. Oh, sideways there was Langster. Maybe lost it by traction.
So what Langster might be doing here is trying to, back teams back up to the rest of his teammates with a different strategy. That could be what the plan is.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
Slipstream, Rascal on the inside. They're just blocking the track. They're trying to force Langster out.
Oh, Inman's back in the second though, so Rascal did a bit of smart racing.
He's trying to go the inside of Rascal. Rascal has to pit this time by, I would think.
Oh no! What's going to happen here?
Rascal goes in the pits. Langster stays on the outside. Law on the inside. Law takes the position. Good racing.
That could be a problem there because I didn't know if Langster wanted to pit and he couldn't because Law was on the inside where the pit lane was.
Yeah.
I got to give props to all those guys, though, keeping it clean with the situation like that. That's not easy.
Pigstick's in the pits too. We haven't mentioned a lot about Pigstick, but he's having a nice race. Darth's making his one stop. No, his first stop, sorry.
So he might be trying to go for that one-stop strategy. You got 35 minutes left. He can go to the mediums. If he's made the softs last this long, I think he could go to the mediums and go for that one stop.
Yeah, I'd imagine those softs are going to fall off the cliff sometime soon. There's a look at Seth. Bigstick's going on the softs.
We see Jonesy and Baldy.
Yeah. Remember, there is a mandatory medium tire usage rule as well for this race, so that's the only thing to keep in mind.
Okay. Kofi scraping that wall. Just trying to set his sights on Simo, who hasn't pitted yet.
Yeah, I was going to say he hasn't pitted, and he's on mediums.
Kofi, I believe he started, so he's on the mediums now too.
Yes, Alex, Inman, Law, and Kofi, they've all started on softs, whereas Rascal was on the mediums.
See just how much he closes coming down to the S's. Just how much more grip he has in those fresh tires.
And worth noting, Kofi is kind of the heir to Dan's crown in terms of fastest pad use at the moment. He's actually on the controller as well.
Ooh, there might have been a bit of a touch there.
Pump drafting is allowed in a team versus team. That's what it looked like.
It's always repeated bumping of a car in front. That's their distinction for it, So once is different to multiple in a line.
What if it's one elongated?
Just a long rub. See, that doesn't usually happen in this game, Lateral. You should know it by now. It's kind of like the slipstream makes you 10 kilometers per hour faster than the car in front, regardless, and then you have heavy contact that bounces someone forward. That's how GTS works.
So we saw Lankster finally making his pit stop, 39% fuel in his car. Let's see where he comes out of the pit lane once he jumps to those medium tires. There's Rascal going by, so it looks like Rascal's jumped him. The undercut has worked massively for him. He might lose a position. He's fueling up now, so the pit stop's almost done. So he actually may come out behind Happy.
I fueled all the way to... Oh, up to 85. Yeah, he's come out behind Happy. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. He's ready to go to the end anyway.
Now, another question is, everyone else in ARC, are they doing a two-stop?
I would imagine so. I think two-stop strategy is possibly the best solution instead of having the one. I think what Symbol's definitely trying to do a one, but I just don't think it's the right strategy.
So currently, ARC top 4, Simo in 5th for ART, Rascal in 6th, Happy in 7th, Lankster in 8th. Most of these drivers, other than Simo, have made their pit stop. I believe we've seen Happy make a pit stop.
You could probably see from his tyres if he has. We mentioned about Happy, not Sybil.
no, he hasn't.
No, so it looks like all of the ART drivers are going for a one-stop.
Currently with a fast lap of a 2:08.
Yeah, that's a race lap record there. Apparently. Little bird in my ear told me that.
So Alex is showing off just how fast he is. He's got 10 seconds almost over Inman.
Simo going for yet another lap. Really, me.
Well, the thing is, Chile was discussing it with Alex for the Nürburgring race, if you remember correctly. Alex is fantastic in open air. That's his strong suit, I think. So, just letting him get out there in front.
I was just about to say when you went back to the old Formula 1 when Sebastian Vettel was dominating it. When clean air, he was just invincible. When he was in traffic, he's a bit iffy, like what Alex was at Nürburgring. So it's just another masterclass here for Alex here.
Yeah,
He's definitely come a long way since that season 4.
Season 3.
Season 3, because he was in the Group B championship.
Yeah,
in the
he was Tier B.
Yeah,
and sure, all the champions of that season actually ended up in the final race in Navier.
don't pat your back too hard there, Techno.
He even got a podium too with the last race in season 3 at Spa.
Yeah,
in a Porsche of all cars.
Yeah, Nucky was, as he was called back then, was brilliant for that race. Because I think he started down the back with me, and he ended up on the podium.
I think it was like mid-pack. I think he was, because he was battling with Mermaid for the title for Group B, and
it might have been the start off the grid. I remember, because the Porsche obviously was about 5 places automatically just by being a Porsche on a standing start. So.
Ooh, as you see, Simo has a 3-second penalty. Must have gotten that going down the skyline.
Oh, that's the cutting. It's really silly how that one works there, and it grinds my gears every time I experience it. But it is what it is. He'll likely bird if I do the next lap.
Well, here we go. Lankster versus Happy. Lankster's been a pit stop. Happy hasn't, and
this is strategic.
Right on,
I would say.
Yeah, Happy doing the smart racing there. Just let the teammate go by.
Simo finally makes that pit stop. But has he served that penalty yet? That's the question.
And of course, the penalty burns out at the Mountain Street and Conrad Street.
And a new set of Michelin tires going on that car. We see a Lankster going by the pit straight now, after working his way by Happy. Next car for him on track, I believe, would be... No.
Probably come just in the battle with Seth and Goldie.
Not the best merge.
Sorry.
So So Simon kind of needs to try and make the move on Derek now, coming down the straight, but he's probably doesn't have the speed advantage.
He doesn't have the penalty now, so what's happened here?
He's likely burned it. Simon's a good guy.
Now he's on the soft tyres now.
And Darth would be also on the softs because Darth started on the mediums as well.
I think
so soft tire versus soft tire, but Simo's got the fresher tires.
Yeah, I was going to say probably Darth's got at least maybe 3 or 4 laps worth of soft tires used.
So let's see what happened there. There's Happy once trying to have a small battle with Pig Stig.
Yeah, Happy's not yet pitted still, so he's the last one to make. I'm guessing that Jag's got some good juice in that fuel tank. Pig Stick, get all sideways.
I mean, we've seen Inman, not Inman, West do a pretty solid job in that Jag the past before.
There's something funny with that car, isn't it? I can't remember what it is. It's supposed to be good in the corners, I think. That's the thing with the Jag. Yeah, I believe that's the case.
I thought it was good in the straights.
That's what I thought originally too, but that's in season 4. That's what I was told. The whole appeal of it was cornering and tight tracks like Brands Hatch, apparently.
Oh, the Jag is a straight line monster.
Could think so. Maybe the balance changed. All I know is Lemmy really didn't like that car, just from memory. He didn't enjoy that one.
The car's so bad he quit racing.
That's why he quit. Full stop. Yeah.
He gets to drive the Jag for a season. That last
it wasn't because of his job, it was because he just didn't like the Jag.
We see Langston in 6th, so he still has Rascal in front of him. So once again, it's ARC top 5, but it's now 21-second gap between him and Langston instead of, almost the no gap they had before Rascal made his pit stop.
Yeah, I'd say Langston's hoping for a 2 pit stop race from the cars in front. Try and bring us in back.
But I mean, if you've got the likes that, obviously Alex, the top 5 are definitely going to make the second pit stop, but it's still not going to be enough for Langston to make a threat, because he was like 46 seconds behind Alex, the leader.
Ooh,
look at this battle going on here.
Happy made a small mistake to the cutting, lets both of them by. So now Darth just trying to set his sights on working his way by Seth, and then Pig Stig in front.
Just Happy knows he can make a pit stop. I don't think he's pitted yet.
What happened to Simo? Because he was right behind Darth, I thought.
I think he's still up there.
No, because he made his pit stop, mind.
No, see, he merged back in behind Darth, I thought.
Yeah, he was. What happened to Simo?
Not unless if he had a mistake on the lap times, if he made a mistake on one of those laps. But,
well, it would have been this lap.
Darth! Oh, Seth! Hold on!
And which way does Darth go?
He was going to the inside, but he gets cut off.
Oh, hello! Oh, I'll tell you what, Darth will not be liking that.
He's going to try and go the inside through the kink. That's risky. We've seen it go wrong before. They give each other space. Slight nudge. And Seth holds on to it.
Oh, does he? Lost the traction in the middle.
Yes, something happened with an Alfa Romeo and a Corvette there before. I can't remember what the context was.
That's some deep arc lore you got there.
It was a GTR, I think, actually.
That is some deep lore as
well.
Oh! That's almost a bit of a deep dive, and there's some elbows there.
Yeah, this is GT3, not VTCC. Come on.
I'd expect Darth to give that back, to be honest.
We should see a replay of it. I'm curious what happened there, if you don't mind, Mr. TV Director. Seth with a bit of a tap into the back of Darth.
I don't think this rivalry's done, I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
Simo's caught up, he's past Happy, who's still not yet pitted.
Ooh, Seth almost loses it.
So here we go.
We're actually I think we're getting a replay of the instant prior set, actually.
Let's have a look. So going down the forest elbow, hits the wall, see the sparks fly, loses the traction, and then let's see if this was a pretty bad block on Seth's part going up the chain. Ooh.
I don't think he's fully in control there at that point, to be honest with you.
To be fair, Darth was committed to going to the left side there.
Yeah. Darth went into the cap he saw. It's just the way it works out sometimes.
And then in here, side by side.
Yeah, there was a bit of rubbing. Seth kept there, losing the traction off the middle of the chase.
And what I want to see as they go through Hell Corner, the onboard, preferably of Darth's car, I'm curious how deep that dive was. Seth gets squirrely.
Missed the apex at Murray's, and then this was an opportunity.
He's about even with the rear tire.
Did have a bit of an overlap on Seth.
Yeah, he just touches it.
Just kept in.
He just touches it.
That's just not enough overlap for me. Anyway.
Thank you, TV director, for the elongated replay.
That's a very fancy replay. Lots of information gained. Well, it looks like
Seth is falling way. Seth is falling way back. Happy actually makes his pit stop now.
I've been watching the RT stream. It turns out Seth lost it in a dipper, unfortunately, so that's why he's so far behind now.
I like the Pig Sky Race up the road from Darth. Happy finally making his pit stop, but how far back is Simo from Darth? Because now Simo's close enough. He's within a second almost.
Yeah. So something must have happened to him on the lap he came out of the pits to lose some time, I would say.
I think something had to happen because he came out right behind Darth when we came out of the pit stop.
I'm reading something from Roadrunner down here. Apparently he went wide in the last corner and that's how he lost the time, so that would make sense.
Oh, he's gone off again.
Seth, maybe is there a hardware issue?
Wheel disconnection or
potentially? Might be hardware issues.
I seen this on Friday when I was commentating in another race where the car just stopped. So I don't know if he's a wheel user or a controller user.
It just pulled off.
That's certainly like a disconnection, maybe. Or was he gave up?
Well, the ghosting kind of indicates to me it's some kind of pause thing. And, it would pause if something's disconnected, so that could be the issue.
Meanwhile, second pit stops are happening for the top 5 there. I just saw Law pitting in.
We see Darth and Simo once again reigniting their battle. Simo trying to use the power of that Supra to try and close up the Corvette, but it's not easy. He's only going to close up right by the end. He's going to look to the inside, outside of the kink. Who's going to break later? Looks like it's going to be Simo, and he's through.
Yeah. Simo takes position.
Ooh, bit of a tap there from Darth, though.
Yeah, that helps him out. Just give me a boost.
I don't know. I think Darth appreciated the move. That's why he gave him a little love tap.
Yeah.
So we see Law making his pit stop, as you mentioned. He finally comes out, and it looks like...
Yeah, he's just come up. Yeah, Seth's still not moving. I think he's gave up, I reckon.
No, he just stopped there, so he stepped on the brakes for it. Oh, there he's going.
Oh.
Yeah, might be a hardware issue, I would say, based off that. That's just weird looking movement. Yeah. Back on the track anyway.
Merges back onto the track, and I'm guessing he's underway again.
Oh,
side by side is Simo and Darth. Darth are on the outside, and he's through.
That's a big battle there. Loads of respect given though, in fairness. That was incredible. Very tough.
Simo touches the inside. Clips the inside wall going through the cutting.
Bit of a tag there. That kills you off the whole next section if you lose time there. So he's really hurting now because of that.
Yeah. This is like a momentum racetrack. You've got to like nail those lines over time, and like one little hiccup just like that, and it will just spoil your momentum. And now the leaders are in. This Alex is running a bit dry.
And he is, but he has almost 11 seconds over Inman. Second.
Alex has been doing a 40-minute qualifying session. He's back in now to the pits.
They're already dead, Alex. Let them go. And we see Rascal going to take the divisional lead as he might be on the one-stop strategy as Rascal. We see Alex come out in the soft tire again. So 2 softs, only 1 medium mandated. That's perfectly okay.
Yeah, and I think as predicted, I think the one-stop strategy that Langster and some of the ART boys it's just not worked because Law came out ahead of Langster when Law made the second pit stop. So the one-stop strategy wasn't the perfect idea.
I don't think it was. We see Big Sig making his pit stop. There's Simo and Darth still going at it. 19 minutes left to go.
This is great.
Just up the road. And just up the road, yeah, we see Langster.
They are catching Langster. So, and there's only, 18 minutes to go? But I think is Darth going to pit yet again? Because this is quite a long stint.
He's on soft. He needs fuel.
Yeah. So he'll be pitting this time by.
I'm confused how he's holding on soft stuff.
How's Langster?
See, commentator's curse right there.
Oh, hello! Twerking like Kim Kardashian again, Darth.
You love that analogy.
Oh, I do. I mean, it's shaking it, yeah. And that's a giant backside that Corvette has.
Oh my God.
Look at that thing! Whoa! It's like hula hooping. Whoa!
Oh God. Tokyo Drift.
PK would like that with that Arabic drifting.
Jesus Christ. So, some lines never die and will always be brought up at every opportunity.
Ark has a lore at this point. We got like 2-3 years of lore at this point.
Ark Wiki coming soon to a server near you.
There's Rascal finally making his pit stop.
Hopefully it's got my Savvyisms too.
Savvy, there's too many to list.
Bit of a touch, but not much.
Hey, look, Dibble. Yeah. All's fair in love and war, right?
Here, anyways.
Darth's line, yeah, it looks like he's taking to the pit lane there. Rascal in the pit lane as well.
So Langster up into 5th after Rascal, makes his pit stop. So Langster's actually gained some positions here. I believe Langster is only going for the one stop. Where's Rascal going to come out in comparison? Does he actually come out ahead of Langster?
He's got ahead. Yeah, he just
barely.
Yeah.
Langster is going for the Matty route this time. I think this can be trying to be gatekeeper for the next few laps if he can get Rascal behind him.
I think Rascal's got the new soft tires though. Langster's on the worn mediums at this point, or worn softs.
I don't think Rascal's going to defend that much, really, to be honest with you.
I think with the mediums, like if the softs will degrade over the next 15 minutes, so they could be the ones to be on near the end. You never know.
Well, to be fair, when you say 15 minutes, there is 16 minutes left.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah. 15 minutes running on the soft, that will do some damage still. The question is, will the mediums last a bit longer? Again, it is 5x. Like, those softs are going to be crying very soon.
We'll see as they head down to the S's now. So far, going up the hill is favorable towards Rascal. Going down the hill will also be favorable. He's still just within slipstream range.
We talked about not a pick stick, but, 8th place. He's having a nice race, Piggy.
Yeah.
All by himself.
Decent comeback drive.
Big. If he had a bit of good to qualifying.
Big Sig's been having, he's been having a really quiet race. Doing a solid job in the top 10. Speaking of some of the other drivers we haven't seen too much of, how's Baldy been doing the past few minutes?
Oh, we've got 2 retirements. We're missing a couple. I'm guessing Seth is one of them. And who could be the other one?
There's Happy, there's Chubbs.
Happy.
Who?
Jonesy,
yeah.
Yeah, so 2 unfortunate retirements there.
Oh, that's a shame.
I think I could understand Seth's point of view if he had some sort of problem. Yeah. But with Jonesy, we don't know. Not unless if someone in the chat will say what happened with Jonesy.
You can see Rascal already opening up to 2.5 seconds over Langster. Those new soft tires right now are going to give him that big buffer zone he needs before his tires start to weigh. Just under 15 minutes remain. Left is ARC versus ART, team versus team event.
Something that the positions changed over the line there looked really weird. So it was 11th to 9th
I think
suddenly.
it was like a little glitch there, but no, that's what the positions look there. I think Darth is still going to catch up to Pig. I was going to say Piggy.
2.4 in the race. 2-minute 4 in the race from Hallex.
That's Hanix doing his thing.
I tell you what, Ronald taught him well, didn't he? I think didn't Ronald took him under his wing?
Yeah,
And
Ronald taught him.
There's the results. If you're watching this, hi Ronald, we miss you.
So there are 2 seconds between him and Pig. See if he closes the gap. There's some dust that got kicked up there. That might help out Darth a little bit.
Yeah, it's down to within 2 seconds now. So Darth on those. Darth's on a fresh set of softs, isn't he? Oh, who was that ghosted? Someone was ghosted going up Griffin.
Chubbs.
More issues potentially? Hopefully not. Chubb's still got points, so hopefully he sticks in that position.
Yeah, that would still be a points finish for the Amigos team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every point is vital, but I mean, as you see there, ARC first to 5. It's it's pretty academic, really. I mean, you got to say fair play to Langston, Simo, and Pigstick for giving it a go. And I mean, you got to give them full respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
They've done a solid job out there, and I wouldn't mind if they happen to be interested in joining the champs race or champs season as reserve drivers. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're more than welcome to welcome any driver, really.
More than action, with a larger grid.
Yeah, the more work for Temple to do.
Yeah. I don't know what. Maybe I shouldn't be recommending this. No, it's always good to have fast guys on the track up front.
Mm-hmm.
The more the merrier, I say.
Now, if only we had 44 car grids.
Oh, stop. I'd be doing a 4-class, multi-class series with 4 cars.
100%.
That's exactly what I'd be doing first thing right off the bat.
So there you see Darth trying to catch up to Pigstick. Now 1.3 seconds is the gap. But Darth trying to close the gap to Simo and Langster, who's way ahead of Pigstick right now. It actually looked like Simo's closing right up to the back of Langster, so we're almost going to see a repeat of qualifying here in the closing stages of the races, I would think.
We'll see strategically what way to decide to go. We're curious, what tire does Simo on? Is Simo third?
I think Simo's on softs. Yeah, and
I'd say Langster will probably hold position. He's on the mediums. They'll last a bit longer, I think.
Or see Langster going for the pit stop.
Yeah, I should have stopped saying things. Every time I say something, the opposite thing happens.
So Langster going for the 2-stop, but he's really saving those soft tires for the end of this race. I'm curious where he's going to come out in relation to Darth.
Might be planning to do some hot lapping here at the end.
So there's Darth and Pigstick. I'm guessing it's just tires for Langster. He comes out, a little bit of fuel, and he comes out in front of him.
So it should be interesting how they play that. So Darth sees positions now ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
He must be thinking this is all my hands.
He's been catching Pigstick really quick. He's in the slipstream right now.
Just about, yeah. Oh, no, now he's getting a good toe off here, but now this is where you got to hold station going up the mountain. Oh, Pig's made it. Oh, I thought Pig made a little mistake going into the cutting. May have hit that flat part on the right side of the track. That's Corey. And again, this is where you have to show that bit of patience here around this part of the track.
McPhillamy's and their Skyline. The gap roughly 0.3 of a second.
Oh, wow. He gets really late on the brakes there.
Ooh, but he almost loses it there. Gets a bit squirrely in the rear end. The gap opens up. He has to get a good run here out of the Forest elbow if he wants to make sure he stays on the back and takes in, get the slipstream. He does. He's just within half a second. We've seen time and time again just how much faster that Corvette is in a straight line compared to the AMG.
And that gap is disintegrating every second now. Here we go.
That's 6th
Pick's
gear.
gonna go to the middle.
6th gear kicking in there.
Ooh, still
side by
side
side
though.
chase.
Who's going to brake later? They brake roughly at the same time. Darth has the inside. Pig has the outside. Going to get the switch back. He's going to hold on to it. He tried
Bit of a
to.
hip check.
Yeah, Pig didn't give that up without a fight there. Fair play
And
to
then we see
Pig.
Simo making a pit stop as well. So where's Simo going to come out? This is going to be a pretty spicy end of the race with 8.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, we could have a 4-car scrap here. Although I think Langster could be driven away. But Simo was going to come out very close there. In fact, he's close with Langster.
I believe Darth has only lost time here, I think. If they both come out with fresh soft tires compared to Darth, I think they're just going to break away at this point. Going up now. The cutting. Simo's going to have the fresher tires over Langster, but we've seen before Simo's had trouble getting by him.
Yeah, seen that a lot in qualifying, so hopefully.
I'm also noticing at the leaderboard right now it says Kofi is in 3rd ahead of Law, so I believe they might have switched positions lately.
Well, I mean, they're racing for the team. I don't think it's they don't race for themselves. So I mean, they could have fun. They're like a country mile ahead of the next guy of this battle here. So, not that big of a deal really.
Mm-hmm. Simo just in the slipstream of Langster ahead.
That's actually, that's actually quite scary to think that Alex is 59 seconds ahead of Langster, who's the top ALT driver. That's nearly a minute in a 1 hour race.
That's half a lap.
So we just heard Jonesy and Seth both had hardware issues. That's quite unfortunate for them.
Just do the old Jeremy Clarkson routine. Just get a hammer and it'll be fixed.
Oh god. Well, that's the thing with Alex.
Hold on. Simo lost a bit of time to Darth there. He almost lost half a second to Darth. So Darth may be finding something in that Corvette that Simo can't find in that Super right now.
No, but both are strong cars around here, I would say. Might just made a slight mistake. Hard to know. Worn softs as well. I guess things start creeping in at that point.
Mm-hmm. Well, Simo's on the freshest softs of all 3 of them right now. Just under 6 minutes left to go in this race, so that's roughly 3 to 4 laps left in this race.
I hope Chubbs is still racing with us.
Seems to be.
The last time we seen him he was ghosted, wasn't he?
We've only got reports from Jonesy and Seth so far.
So I believe they'd just be farther down the order. I'm curious where Baldy also has been, if he's still back.
So
Simo still hounding Langster, with the gap maintaining relatively even.
The question is, will Darth catch up for the last part of the stint? Last 5 minutes.
Do you know, I'm wondering if Alex is really catching lap traffic at this rate. Because I didn't mind the gap with Alex to Baldy one was about 1 minute and 47 seconds. So, I mean, that must be quite terribly close to being lapped. But I mean,
do we know where?
To be fair to Boldy, it's his first time doing a team versus team, but he did a thoroughly good job so far. We did see him as high as 10th at one point.
He was doing quite well at the start. He got quite unfortunate with that contact into the technical.
I think they may have already been lapped.
They have been.
Boldy and, so both Boldy and Chops have been lapped.
Is it safe to say that Alex is the new king of the mountain? Has PK been knocked off his throne?
Well, PK isn't here, so we can't contend that.
But I mean, if PK was still here, he'd still get owned by Alex for sure.
Nah.
And I would even bet my house on that.
No, I still don't think, even with less practice from PK at this point, I don't think anyone has that pace around here.
What, PK?
Yeah, like he's mad. I don't know how he manages it.
Yeah, I think you're wrong.
I mean, Alex has broken both records that were then broken by Kobu, which were previously set by PK. So,
hello, scraping the wall now.
My reasoning for this was that recently, PK actually ran in. I think it was over by ESGT. He ran a race, and he got pole over there, and that was a race with Nuggy as well. And I think they're both in the Viper, if I remember correctly. So that's it. That would be my main kind of thought process for that.
How long ago was that?
That was only like 3 or 4 months ago.
Well, I mean, look at PK now to Alex now. I'd still say Alex would beat PK hand over foot.
I'd say it'd be close on Bathurst, but we're not. Who's ahead? It'd be tough. I put my money on Alex, to be honest, but.
If PK practiced,
do you know, I bet your Kobo's thinking, what about me?
Oh god, poor Kobo.
As we see, they've gained quite a large gap now to Darth, almost 4 seconds. So Simo and Lancaster just going at it for their 6th spot. Any other close battles that happen to be happening on track right now, Mr. TV Director?
So like to be for pride here, the last battles, because the team intra-team battles have kind of battles have kind of panned out a bit now, I think.
Yeah,
this is the closest battle on track right now.
And I mean, well done to Langston and Simo for putting on the show too. It's good to see.
They're gonna have just as this will be the white flag lap, so they're only gonna have 2 more laps. Right, no, this
will be the penultimate lap.
Yeah, penultimate. They'll cross the line, and then it'll be checkered.
Oh, they'll scrape off the inside ball from Simo. I think that was it. Reed, I think that was.
Skyline. He's getting real close there. Oh, but he's in the grass. Ooh, that was a bit of a swerve. You have to be careful not to get a penalty there.
Yeah,
yes, that's the thing.
Get a penalty there.
The chance of getting a penalty there is entirely linked to the width of your car, which is quite stupid. So the Chevy can only really get a pen if it kind of fully interfaced with that wall. But other narrower cars can just cut it on the grass, like the 4C.
Well, we did see Simo pick up a 3-second penalty, and I'm guessing he did. That was the corner where he got that penalty.
Most likely. Literally, if his car was a bit wider, he will not be getting a penalty there. That's how silly it is. Because all 4 wheels would have gone outside the track limits in that case.
He's looking racy here. He's only going to have 1 more lap to get this move done. They don't need to pass, but there's still the racer hurting them.
Yeah, for entertainment purposes and for pride, I would say he'll go for this one.
Yeah, it's pretty much like Super Speedway NASCAR, you know, friendship's out the window. It's every man for himself now. Here we go. This is it.
I just now noticed they have lightning bolts on the top of their car.
Nice.
Well, be thankful we didn't have a rear ring that says "Ah, poop now."
Once again, bringing up the deep look.
That was an excellent rear wing. I don't know what you're talking about. That was snuck onto the car as well, as far as I'm aware. Like Dan didn't know about that before the actual event.
I was actually quite amazed that, Lat and I actually spotted that in the final round of season 3, when it was there the whole season.
I think it was only put there for the last round, or am I incorrect?
Oh, I don't know.
I think
So
that was
we
just
have
the last round.
we have the first finishers of the race, Happy and about Pig. So there's Halleck going under the Almerall Bridge for the final time. Passed around Murray's Corner, 12 and a half seconds to Inman. An absolutely dominant display here as he crosses the line and takes the win for ARC here at Bathurst.
Yeah. For Alex, this is a display of intent for next Sunday, I feel, more than anything.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously them two are fighting for the championship too, and you can see 12 seconds. Inman's got to find that gap for Alsace next week.
And Kofi as well.
And yeah, Kofi too. Here he comes, making his way through bodies.
Baldy crossing the line.
Kofi crossing the line, giving her a nice little swish. Ooh.
Oh dear. There goes Law. Here comes Chubbs. Come on, Chubbs. Get yourself a point. Well done.
And there's Rascal. And then the final ones, Lancaster and Simo and Darth. Let's see what's going on there.
This goes down. Here we go. Come on, get the popcorn, boys. Who's going to win this? Lancaster.
Final corner, the final lap. Lancaster goes defensive.
Lancaster,
cut his line short.
Oh, go for the crisscross, Simo. Come on.
He's going to try, but he can't get the power down with the Supra.
Go for it. Oh, look at this stuff. He's a pit. Whoa. Oh, Lancaster's got it.
Photo finish.
And the final one to cross the line will be Darth in 8th place.
Oh, is Pig not made it? Oh, Pig has made it, yeah. There we go. That's it.
I'm sure the host will collect those results.
So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was I'm guessing, the first round of the ARC versus ART team versus team event.
Yeah, I'd say it's more of an exhibition one to see how things go, So I think it went relatively well for all involved.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race.
Some interesting overtakes and everything. Very difficult track as well.
Yeah, and Bathurst is known to be one of the most challenging, difficult tracks just on the planet alone. So, I mean, for everyone to do what they can out there with honestly minimal contact, that was pretty clean, all things considered. I have to say, a round of applause for every driver of both teams.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunate for those who had to retire, but sure, these things happen on occasion.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate to see, but it is what it is. We have to make do with what we got.
Yeah. I think Lemmy had a similar issue in one of the TVTs where his wheel just broke. The first lap.
I don't know if that was in the TVT. I know he had the Monza one, but I don't know if that was a TVT.
Oh, there was one at Le Mans, I think. Kev was in it, I think, as well. I've gone back to the Arc lore, I'll have you know.
I don't think it was at Le Mans. I could have sworn it was at Monza.
It was a GR1 race as part of one of the TVTs. I'm not sure it was streamed, to be honest. Anyway.
If it was the Le Mans one, that would have been probably the first race that I ever commentated.
No, that was the first race I ever raced in. That's not the same race.
Oh, okay. Shut up, Sean.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, we shall end it there.
If you want to say it out, if you want to send us out, Techno, I'll let you do it.
Yeah, we shall end it there. Thanks for watching. I've been Techno.
I've been Traving.
I've been Lateral. Once again, thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And ladies and gentlemen, keep racing.